Attention passionate Atlanta, Falcons fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the NFC South and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Atlanta Falcons' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Atlanta Falcons fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your FRINDS and Atlanta, FALCONS, FANS. Let's get to the news. The NFL rumor mill is buzzing louder than ever, and it's centered around a blockbuster potential trade that could reshape the NFC South and give the Atlanta Falcons a serious shot at elevating their offense to new heights. Sources close to ESPN's Adam Schefter have indicated that the Cincinnati Bengals, currently struggling at a 4-9 record in December 2025 and facing cap issues following Joe Burrow's extension, might be open to trading star wide receiver T. Higgins. The proposal: sending Higgins to Atlanta in exchange for a second-round pick in the 2026 draft and the Falcons' dynamic young receiver Drake London. This move could clear up a hefty $22 million in cap space, allowing Atlanta to rebuild its offensive line, which has been leaking points lately, allowing an average of 28 points per game, and get more physical up front, especially with the importance of protecting quarterback Desmond Ridder and opening running lanes for Bijan Robinson. Now, let's zoom in on what this means for the Falcons. Higgins is a game-changing receiver with a profile that Atlanta desperately needs. He's a contested catch king, a receiver who can make the tough plays, and his career stats speak volumes: over 500 yards receiving and 35 touchdowns up to September 2025. His 2025 season has been impressive, with around 100 yards in 13 games and 10 touchdowns, showcasing his ability to be a primary target. His advanced analytics are equally compelling: a 97 PFF grade, averaging 2.7 yards per route run, and an EPA per target of plus 0.17, which shows he's efficient and effective when he's on the field. Higgins' contested catch rate hovers around 58%, and he averages nearly 5 yards after the catch per reception. That kind of explosiveness and reliability could breathe new life into Atlanta's passing game, especially alongside Drake London, who's been solid but needs that extra boost to reach his full potential. If you look at his recent game against the Steelers in Week 11, Higgins racked up 140 yards and 2 touchdowns on just 7 receptions. That's the kind of impact player who can turn a game around in a flash. His previous seasons have seen him rack up nearly 800 yards after the catch and maintain a separation rate of around 19%, which is decent but could improve with better schemes and chemistry. His injury history in 2025 includes a shoulder injury in Week 3, but he bounced back strongly, posting 120-plus yards in 6 games afterward. Comparing him to Drake London, whose PFF grade sits at 87. With 950 yards in 2025, Higgins clearly elevates the Falcons' receiving core, bringing a level akin to A.J. Brown, someone who can stretch defenses vertically and create mismatches. Now, why would Cincinnati consider this move? Well, the Bengals' offense has been sputtering, largely due to an underperforming offensive line. They've been prioritizing draft capital to upgrade their pass protection and are eyeing an edge rusher in the upcoming draft to bolster their defense. With cap space of around $14 million and plans to extend Jamar Chase, Cincinnati might see trading Higgins as a way to free up resources and rebuild for the future. But this isn't just about cap and draft picks. It's about the risk of losing one of their most explosive offensive pieces, which could anger their fan base, especially after a playoff drought that has left the team searching for consistency. For the Falcons, this potential acquisition is nothing short of a game-changer. Adding Higgins would likely boost their receiving yardage by about 35%, pushing their average from around 220 yards per game to nearly 297, a jump comparable to what Tyreek Hill did for the Dolphins in 2022. With Higgins on the field, especially paired with London, Atlanta's passing attack would become significantly more explosive, forcing defenses to respect the deep ball and opening up more opportunities for Bijan Robinson to run wild. It would also elevate the quarterback's rating, potentially pushing Desmond Ridder from the mid-80s up to the high 90s, making him a more confident and effective passer. Let's not forget how this impacts the Falcons' Super Bowl odds. According to DraftKings, Atlanta's chances to win it all in December 2025 could skyrocket from +20 to +8, 0 if this trade happens, transforming them from long shots into serious contenders in the NFC South. Higgins could serve as an X-factor in the playoffs, especially in zone coverage situations where his YAC, yards after catch, ability, and contested catch skills could turn close games into Atlanta victories. Think about the parallels with Devonta Smith's role in the Eagles' 2022 Super Bowl run. Adding a receiver like Higgins would give Atlanta a dynamic matchup nightmare that defenses would struggle to contain. Of course, all these moves are speculative right now, and there are skeptics who argue that trading away Drake London and risking a fan backlash might not be worth the short-term gains. But if the Falcons can land Higgins, it signals a clear shift towards a more aggressive, high-powered passing attack, one that aligns with their long-term vision of competing at the highest level. This kind of move also signals a broader organizational mindset, one that's willing to shake up the roster in pursuit of championships, rather than sticking with the status quo. Overall, this trade scenario paints a picture of Atlanta transforming into a true aerial threat, a team capable of lighting up the scoreboard and making a serious Super Bowl push. Higgins' arrival could be the catalyst that reignites the Falcons' offensive firepower, turning them into a team that not only makes the playoffs, but is also perceived as a legitimate contender to bring home that coveted Lombardi trophy. It's all about timing, talent, and vision, and right now the Falcons have a real shot to make a bold move that could define their season and beyond. Pause here just for a second. If you want the YouTube algorithm to keep recommending the latest Atlanta Falcons news to you, it's super important that you leave a like on this video. Go ahead, it's quick and it makes a big difference. Thank you. Now let us continue with the big reveal. Looking ahead, the Falcons' front office is undoubtedly weighing their options carefully. They know that adding a talent like Higgins isn't just about boosting the offense. It's about sending a message that Atlanta is serious about contending now and in the future. With the NFC South still relatively open, especially after the struggles of teams like the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and New Orleans Saints, Atlanta has a real shot to seize control of the division if they make the right moves. Higgins' versatility and big play ability could be exactly what they need to leapfrog their rivals and establish themselves as a powerhouse. Moreover, this potential trade could ripple across the league, forcing other teams to reevaluate their rosters and trade strategies. The Bengals, facing their own challenges, might see this as a necessary step to rebuild and retool their roster, especially if they believe Higgins might not be in their long-term plans or if they're seeking to maximize their draft capital. The Falcons, on the other hand, would be betting on Higgins' proven production, his ability to elevate the entire offense, and his fit within their offensive scheme. In terms of player fit, Higgins complements Drake London exceptionally well. London is more of a route-running, possession receiver, while Higgins excels in contested situations, stretching defenses vertically and making those difficult catches that change games. Together, they could form a lethal duo, forcing defenses to pick their poison. Pairing Higgins with Bijan Robinson in the backfield and a developing Desmond Ridder at quarterback could give Atlanta an offensive identity focused on explosive plays, sustained drives, and scoring at a clip that defenses find hard to stop. The fans in Atlanta are already dreaming about the possibilities. A receiving core featuring London and Higgins, combined with Robinson's ground game and a stout defense, would make the Falcons a nightmare on offense, capable of competing with the best in the league. The question remains whether the front office will pull the trigger on such a bold move, but the signs point to a team that's willing to go all in for success. With the playoff picture looking more open than ever, especially in a division ripe for the taking, this move could be the spark that ignites a new era of Falcons football, one filled with hope, excitement, and a serious shot at that elusive Super Bowl. And now, Atlanta Falcons fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this potential trade? Do you believe Higgins is the piece that takes Atlanta over the top? Or do you think holding on to London and building through the draft is the smarter move? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the Falcons. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for the latest Atlanta Falcons news. Let's keep the passion alive and keep supporting our team through thick and thin. Together, we're building something special, and this season might just be the one where everything clicks. Keep the faith, Falcons fans, because big things are on the horizon.